Yeah guys, we have some more options available under code first in entity framework. So here in this video we are going to cover about two things. One is how to work with the properties of this particular context while building, so that is what called model building. So model building properties, so this is technically called Fluent API. So Fluent API is nothing but this is a particular API under this entity framework, which is going to give you some more options. So for the existing code first approach model, so that is what model building, or you can also call it as Fluent API. So the second option, so how to apply foreign key mapping. So foreign key mapping for this particular code first approach. So these two I'm going to cover in a single program. So be conscious on this. So this is going to be available in our hands-on also. That is the reason we need to pay attention for this particular. So first let me create a code first project. So let me create a console application. So this is my console application. So first of all, before making any project as code first approach, so the first thing is you need to write what is the connection string. So let me write the connection string. So connection string, add some name is equal to whatever the name that you want to use. So connection string, this is as it is, and additionally, so this is not an EDIBA program, this is a entity program. So you have to give the provider name. That means you have to mention which namespace can handle the current database connectivity and all those. So that is the reason here we are going to use system.data.sql client. So this is the, now here you need to write the connection string. So here data source, nothing but server. So my server name is, so this is my server name, you can give yours. So after that, initial catalog, what is the database name. So initial catalog can be written like this. So initial catalog is nothing but the name of the database. Here I am giving like this, db test code first fluent properties, something like this. You can give any name, I am giving this one. So after that, integrated security, because I am using Windows authentication, integrated security equal to true. So first you prepare this particular SQL connection. So after that you have to go to tools and go to this NuGet package manager and select manage NuGet packages for solution. So after selecting this in the browser, you can search for the regular entity framework. So select this entity framework. So select your project and click on install. So it will ask for confirmation, click on OK, then accept the license. So then this particular DLL is going to be added into the current project. So that's it, it was installed now. So now you start creating or working with the classes of code first approach. So first what you will do, so here prepare the class. So classes can be written as a separate file also, but I am writing in a single file to avoid confusion. So suppose you have a department class. So inside this department, so you have properties, so int id. So as I said yesterday in the previous class also, so whenever you want to prepare a particular column as primary key, you should give the column name as id, or else whatever the class name followed by id, you should use any one. So properties string and department name or department title, anything you can call. So this is the first table, I mean first class. The second one I am going with, so class employee. So now in this class employee, so int, here I am not following any naming convention, here I am not following this particular data annotation key also, but still I just want to use this particular column as primary key column. So how we can make it, that we can check it later. As of now skip that. So continue with the remaining properties. So employee name, so after that some int age, city. Now so I just want to create a foreign key from this department table, so to this particular column. So whenever you want to create a foreign key column, So first you should write public whatever the class name, that is what department. So department get and set. So it will give you the mapping, not exactly foreign key. So to establish the foreign key, you should write public. So always the number will be an integer type, so that the reference constraint also should be of integer type. So here I am going to write a department reference ID. So this is the primary key, foreign key column. So here get set you need to write. So this will give you foreign key relation, but to maintain exact relation property, so you should write it as foreign key of. So here you can add the namespace. So system.componentModel.data annotations.schema. So now take this particular instance as a foreign key reference. So this is the reference and this is the constraint key. So with using of these two, so system will create foreign key mapping. So this is nothing but we are taking the reference of department to the current table. This we are passing as foreign key to this particular column. So in the diagram you won't see this because this is just a mapping. So this is the original foreign key attribute mapping. So this is how we can create foreign key mapping. One topic is completed. Now let's target upon how to use this Fluent API and Fluent API properties. First create the context as it is. So public some office context, public class guys, public class office context, where the context classes always it need to inherit the previous parent class called db context, which comes from system.data.entity. That too, whenever you install entity framework DLL, then only you can able to see this kind of class inheriting. So after that, so take a constructor. To this constructor base class you can pass the connection string. So we already created the connection string attribute, so you can just pass the name of the connection to the base class. This is done. Okay, so now as I said, so by using the Fluent API you can generate this particular column as foreign key column. So whenever you want to use Fluent API properties, you can take protected override method. There is a method called onModel_creating. So whenever you write protected override, there are some 4 methods. We won't use all of them, just target upon onModel_creating method. So here you can write the properties which system need to consider before creating the model, or while creating the model also you can call. Okay, so here I can write lot many properties guys. First, how to set foreign key without writing annotation or without following the naming convention. So then you can write the foreign key mapping, primary key mapping. So primary key mapping can be done like this. So first you can take this model builder option. So model builder will comes with the properties of the context. Model builder dot entity. Entity means for which class you want to write the properties. So for employee class I just want to write the properties employee dot. So here I just want to give a primary key, so that I am writing has key. You can take any of the entity attribute x dot, you can select which column we just want to make it as a foreign primary key. So then in this employee table, this emp.id will become the primary key column. So this will be done with the help of Fluent API guys. So this is one property. So other than this, what we can do, you can change the name of the column, change the table name. So by using the Fluent API you can change the table also. How can we change? So builder dot entity as it is, you can select which table you want to use. So employee dot to table. So here you can give with what name it should convert as a table in the database side. Normally here whatever the name, sorry guys I missed that topic. So let me add the db sets first. So db set of department, so that can be saved in the database departments. This is how we'll write, correct? Departments, that is not allowing. let's make it public. Maybe it is not accessing since it's not in a public mode. Yeah, now it's done. So that's the reason I will always ask you to keep it in public mode. Yeah, now let's add the second one also, public db set of so employee. So it can be saved with the name employees, getters and setters. Guys, you remember as per the code first approach, so this particular class will be saved in the database side called departments employee was employees. So in case if you want to customize the name, you can use like this, new employee. Now by using the Fluent API, instead of employees, so you are changing to the table name called whatever the name you mention here. Now this entity employee will be get converted to table with the name new employees or new employee, whatever the name you given here. So this is option 1. So one more option is there, change the table name along with new schema. Normally if you remember, I already discussed about the schema things. Whenever you create tables or anything, dbo is there. Dbo is database object, that is what the default schema. So in case if you want to change any new schema name, so that is also can be possible from this one, entity of so department. So department I need to convert it as to table, so to table of. So here I can give new name, new departments. After that, whatever the name you will give it here, that is going to be the schema name. Schema name example I am giving admin. So after creating the entity framework database creation, so instead of dbo here, you can see admin dot new departments table name, you can see this one. So by using the Fluent API, you can change the schema name also. This is one of the attribute which is available. Okay. And one more thing, you can implement a particular property as mandatory or optional. You can consider it is null or not null, allowing. So allowing null values. In case if you want to allow a particular property on a table, on one column, so you want to make them as allow null values. So model builder dot as it is entity of the table employee. So of properties. So here you can take some entity name. I am taking X is the entity. So here in this particular table, I am just making this as an optional, so that the people can skip this particular city column. If they don't have any value for the city, they can pass null value or they can leave it. So because we are mentioning it is optional, that means we are allowing null values into that column. Suppose if you don't want to allow null values, restrict null values. So whenever you want to restrict null values, model builder dot entity of, so you can take some table name again. After that you have to use property method. So you can take entity value something. So here suppose name is mandatory, so that name is required, we are telling that. So our Fluent API will make the property name column as not null column, so that you cannot insert null values into this. You have to insert some value into this one, making that one as required or mandatory. So these are the different properties available by using the Fluent API, guys, where you can have a foreign primary key mapping, where you can change the table name, so other than whatever the name you set for DB set. Along with that, you can also change the schema name. You can allow some column to enter null values. You can also restrict some columns to entering null values into the column. So you should not delete this one. This is going to make all these properties applicable. So this is what called Fluent API in code first approach, guys. Now let's check whether it was executed properly or not. So you can go to the package manager console. So first you have to execute enable -migrations. So this is the first step. Next time onwards, you no need to use this particular enable migration step. So it is creating the migration. So sorry, migration configuration was created. Now the next step, add hyphen migration. You can write some comment. It is the first migration, that is the reason I am using the comment initial. Now it will create a migration in the code side. So migration is getting created. So once it is done, we are going to update the database. Then these changes will effective in the database side. So update hyphen database. Yes. So now we can get to this database and refresh on the databases folder. Then you can see db test code first Fluent API properties. So here if you open the tables, you can see two tables. So one is with new employees, because here we mentioned here to make the table name as new employees, so that you can see the table name new employees. So coming to the second attribute, here inside this, so you had created a foreign key column on emp id. Let's check whether it is done or not. So in the keys you can see new employees. So otherwise if you open it here in the columns, you will get a clarity. You can see emp id was become the primary key, because by using the Fluent API I mentioned dot hash key of I selected that particular column. And coming to the third syntax, where for table departments I just renamed it as new departments along with the schema admin, so that you can see it here, admin dot new departments. So under that you can see the columns id and name. So this is how you can change the name of the schema also, so that you can see for normal tables there will be dbo dot, but for this you can see admin dot. So admin is the schema name for this one. So after this one you can see how to allow null values, how to restrict null values. So that means not null key was applied on this particular column called name. So you can see it here. So this is not going to take null values. That is the reason in bracket you can see not null. So like this, Fluent API will work for applying several attributes while creating the database model. So that is the reason you have to use a protected override method on model creating. Okay. So by using the Fluent API you can apply all these properties. Code wise there will be no change. You can insert a record, you can select a record, you can delete, you can update, you can work with all the properties. So practice this and do let me know if you have any queries. This is about the entire entity framework. So I hope the entire concept is clear. If any particular topic is not clear, so please bring notice to me so that we can solve it. Thank you.